All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome. No, I don't know how to sing. Ashley, you sing.
It's okay. That
I
was
was
great.
thinking of the theme song. Well, this show is going to age both of us. No, that's not how it goes. It's mom's generation. They used to watch Welcome Back, Carter.
Oh, I've never
It was
seen that.
it was beyond my time too. That's why I was like, I didn't say that correctly. But the theme song to it, mom used to sing. And so it
Oh,
starts like that, like something about welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
you did
Maybe. I
great.
don't know. Welcome back
I
to
love it.
Honestea Talks,
Welcome
where we are
everyone.
honest and we talk.
Yes,
With our
truly, truly, truly honest. Oh my gosh.
I'm Ranjita Singh,
And I'm Ashley Peña.
and
Oh
today's topic is embarrassing moments and pet peeves.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think I'm just going to bring it up again. So behind the scenes, before we hit live, I posed a question. I mean, not really a question, it's more of a statement about pet peeves. And I figured, I wonder if that statement came from the fact that when we have pets, we like their company, right? But we love them. We love our pets, but sometimes they peeve us, right? So it's like when another human does it, like we still like this human, but there's certain things that they do that peeves us. So we call them pet peeves.
I really want to do research after
I
we
don't
do
know
this.
if that's real, but that came to mind.
Oh my god, the way that your mind works is awesome. You're like, I wonder if
Oh
it's
my God.
because
I'm pretty sure I would not be in a normal situation if people actually knew what went on in here.
Oh no, bro. But I feel like everybody, our brain
Oh
is
yeah.
so like
Oh,
a
vast.
lot happens in there, a
Yeah.
lot that we don't even see, a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
like
Oh
that
yeah.
we're not even aware of. So you're not
Exactly.
alone. I think everybody would be on that boat.
Just like we don't know what 75% of our own Earth, aside that it's covered in water for 75% of it, like
Exactly.
our brain's the same way. There's so much that we haven't even dove into when it comes to our mind.
Exactly. Oh, wow. It's a vast ocean in there.
It is. It really is.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to get into this topic because we have had our own fair share of embarrassing moments from my end together.
Oh yeah.
Um but
How,
also go
okay,
ahead,
so
go ahead.
let's just start with that embarrassing
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
So, what have I, in our time of knowing one another,
Mm-hmm.
what do you remember that I've done that was embarrassing for me? Because
Hmm.
I was explaining to Ashley how I don't get embarrassed by things because I'm just a goofball. So if I do something, it just
Which I
happened.
love.
Like I don't feel embarrassed.
I love that though. That's so funny. What a great way to live. Like
I
whatever
mean,
it happens. My mom is like that, My mom really, she does a lot of things that I'm like, oh my god, girl. And she's like, like, did it,
yes,
whatever.
whatever.
And I'm like, secondhand embarrassment. Like, I'm embarrassed for you, girl. Like, what do you mean? Oh my god. But for you, I don't necessarily think we've had a lot of funny moments. Like, I
Yeah.
remember the many times where I scared you and you would like jump and do this like kick thing. Oh my god, that was the best moments ever.
I do kick. It's like a natural reaction.
It's so funny. I wish everybody could see it. You do this like you kick your one leg up. It's so funny. It's like such a not unconscious thing. It's just super quick. Oh my god, what is that word that I'm looking for? Not reactive.
A reflex?
A reflex. Yes.
Yeah. It is.
I love it.
Yes.
But embarrassing? No,
I mean, I feel like my screams, like when I do, if something scares me or something, like those are embarrassing because people look at me like, did you just make that noise?
For sure. That's why I would always laugh, like when I scared you, because of the reaction that you had. It was so priceless. Like, and then you would be like, oh.
Yeah. Because I hate when I get had.
I know. I know. That's why
I love to be the prankster, but I hate when people get me because I'm like, no one can get me. And then they get me and I'm like, damn it.
I'm like that too. I hate that. And I feel like a lot of people don't like to be on the other side.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you know what? Actually, I want to share a little embarrassing moment too, which was kind of like that. Because to me, embarrassing moments are like levels. Like we have slight embarrassing moments where it's like you reacted in a funny way and that may have been like embarrassing. But then there's like extreme embarrassing moments where you're like, how the fuck did that happen to me? You know?
Yeah.
But I had a moment this year. Was it this year? No, it was last year. So it was right when shutdown happened. Okay, when everyone was inside.
Uh-huh.
And Emmy, I don't know. It was on April Fool's. I don't know why the fuck we didn't like put two and two together. But Emmy, who was like my brother uncle, he puts on Alexa the oh my god, what's that alarm? From this movie. What's this movie called? The Purge. He puts the Purge alarm.
Oh.
So it's early. It's like 10 a.m. Yeah, dude. Like the world is freaking going crazy.
Yeah.
It's 10 a.m. I don't know. I knew it was April Fool's, but I didn't like think it was that at all.
Yeah.
So I hear the sirens and my mom and I are like, oh my God, what is that? And it goes, this is not a drill. And it said a whole bunch of stuff. I don't even remember what it said, but we were like, oh my God, where's that coming from? What does this mean? What do we have to do? We were literally freaking out. I'm laughing now, but we were freaking out. And then Amy comes out of the kitchen and he's like, ah!
That's a great April Fool's joke.
It was freaking great. This year, he of course couldn't get us because we were like, we're never falling for that again.
Oh my God.
It was great. Yeah.
Okay, I did. So you were asking, okay, so I was talking about how I do have embarrassing moments, but they just, I guess, get suppressed back.
Oh.
So one was one was in junior high. Mm-hmm. And this is me. I just expose myself in like all different ways. So I was in I think it was 8th grade, and I was an office assistant. So I would have to go and collect like the roll from certain classrooms.
Yeah.
After the teacher took roll, I had to take the attendance sheet.
Cool.
And one day I knew I was going into the room, my crush's room. Like I had a crush on a certain guy, and I always had to walk into that classroom and walk a certain way to the front, to the desk to get the roll. And I knew going in, like, okay, the projector's on, like, don't trip on the cord. And I was fine. I walked in, I did it, I thought, and then my crush said something. So then I was like, all like flustered, right? And then as I'm walking out, I trip on the cord. I don't fall, but the whole class is watching the projector. So now it's like black in the room because I tripped on the cord and unplugged it. And so I'm like, oh my God, I plug it in and I leave. But then.
Oh no, what?
We're doing this. We had a school paper, like, and I got interviewed as office assistant of a most embarrassing moment. And so I said that, but it was supposed to be anonymous. But in that instant, everyone that was in that room that day knew exactly who I was.
No!
That had this anonymous, my crush is in that class. So then everyone's trying to figure out who my crush was.
Oh my. Look, I'm getting red just thinking about what that
for me. Like. Yeah.
Shit. Man.
That was one that I definitely remember. Yeah.
But that's a good one. That's a good one because these things happen to everybody. Like, I think it's important to talk about embarrassing moments because I think a lot of times people are so deathly afraid of being embarrassed
or vulnerable because I feel like it's a vulnerable thing that something like that happens, right?
For sure. And even sharing it is vulnerable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I think the way to get through it is to just own it. right?
Yeah,
Like it's not that
definitely.
embarrassing if you just own it and you know that it happened. I've got another good one for you after your turn.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to hear that.
It's even more embarrassing.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I love talking about these things because, like you said, something you said right now that's so important is you owning it is what really takes the embarrassing and
Yeah.
like fear factor out of it. Because
Hmm.
like all of the things that we're sharing right now are funny. They're not
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, even though I sometimes still feel like, oh my God, what an embarrassing moment. It's like we take our power essentially back because we're just
Exactly.
talking about it and sharing it, which I think is important.
Exactly.
I had I had one when I was really young. I was really like I was only 6 years old, I think. I don't know. I was a little kid, but I remember
Is this the
vividly.
one I think it is?
So I have the one that you're thinking is one of them, but it's not this one.
Okay.
I'll share that maybe later when we get to worse ones because that one was really bad for me. That one was really fucking bad. I was also very young, but that's not what I'm talking about. This one was, it's so crazy because it was not a big deal. But for
Mhm.
me, it was a big deal because I also had a crush, which is why I'm sharing
Mm.
it. I had this crush on this boy in my neighborhood, like in my block. And till this day, I always like make sure that I'm saying this consciously and like answering correctly in this
This is the one
scenario.
I was thinking.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then yeah, yes. I thought you were thinking about another one, which I'm
No.
pretty sure I told you about. But if I didn't tell you about it, then you're gonna learn today.
Okay. Yes.
But yeah, this one was where the guy, this not the guy, he was a kid. He was like probably 4 years older than me. He was like older. He was super cool. He taught me
Yeah.
how to skate. Like he was just
Aw.
that cool kid, you know. And he wanted
Yeah.
to hang out with me all the time. So he came over and we were outside and he was like, "Do you mind if I sit here?" And I was like, "Yeah." Thinking thinking like, "Yes, you can sit here." I didn't know. I still get red. Oh my God. I had no idea that "do you mind?" When someone says "do you mind?" You're supposed to say, "No, I don't mind." Like, go ahead
Yeah.
and sit. And I didn't say that. I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh, so you don't want me to sit here?" And I was like, what? Go ahead, sit. Like, it was so weird. It was so awkward.
Oh, isn't that
Yeah.
crazy how we have like we get crushes on people and we get these like fluttery emotions and like our brain just shuts off and we don't know what the hell to do.
Literally, like, I do not compute. I
It
can't
does not
function.
even matter how old you are. The age
No,
has nothing to do with those emotions and feelings when you
not
feel
at
like have
all.
a crush on someone.
Not at all. That shit happens to me today,
Yeah.
right now,
Oh
all the
yeah.
time. Oh my God. Okay, your turn.
Okay, so this one, so far, the only people that know this story are my mom, my
Oh my God.
dad, and my brother.
Oh my God.
So I'm finally sharing this beyond my household.
Oh my God. I have goosebumps.
I had an old Honda Civic,
Okay.
4-door, took great care of this car, right?
Mhm.
And, we didn't have cell phones like we do now,
Of
right?
course.
Back then. So
Yeah.
I was at, my uncle and aunt had just moved into like this new development. So there was a lot of construction happening in this area. And I was leaving their house. And as I'm leaving, I'm on my phone, guilty as charged. It
Shoot.
was one of those flip phones. So you'd have to tap
I
3 times to get
remember.
to
I
J or
remember
whatever,
that.
like to type a text.
Man, our fingers were small back
Oh,
then.
yeah. And so I'm going down this street in this new construction zone and it's dark now. So like,
Okay.
it's just street lights, whatever. And I'm, looking on my phone and I all of a sudden hit something and I hear, and I'm like, oh fuck, what did I do? Oops,
Oh no.
sorry, didn't mean to curse. And I'm driving and I still feel something under the car. And I'm just like,
Oh no.
what the heck did I just do? So I literally stop the car and I park it. I get out and I look and there was a pile of dirt on the street for like landscaping. And there was a cone to warn you that there's a pile of dirt. I hit this cone and the pile of dirt,
Oh my God.
and the
Oh
cone
my
was
God.
stuck under the car. Yeah.
Oh shoot.
And I'm like, crap. So now I'm like, in whatever nice clothes I was in, because I think I had gone to visit after work. hunched on the asphalt trying to get this cone out from under my car
Oh no.
because it was literally caught. I finally get it out, leave it, toss it to the side. Don't even realize that there's like dirt on my car.
Oh
So then
my
I'm driving
gosh.
away, and as I'm getting on the freeway, like as I pick up speed, the dirt's like flying. I look in the rear view, there's actually a police car behind me. So all this
Oh
dirt's probably flying
no.
back on.
Oh my god.
Thankfully, they didn't see it happen when it happened in the neighborhood.
Thank
That
God.
just happened when I got on the freeway. But
Oh my god.
yeah, so the bumper after that was like loose,
Of
always
course.
loose.
Of
Kind of
course.
like yours.
Yeah.
And I never
Yeah,
said anything
remember?
until today. Today's the first day. This story has left this household.
That's powerful. Now the whole world knows. If the whole world ever sees this, they have this on record.
I have driven into a pile of dirt.
It happens. It freaking happens. Driving things, especially, they happen.
And distracted. Like after that, I was like, okay, never looking at my phone again while I
Oh my
drive.
god. Yeah, and even distracted mentally too. Like I remember I got pulled over twice in California for holding my phone, not even like looking at it, but holding it for GPS or for, just like changing the song. And I got pulled over, and because I did, I was like, okay, I need to just not hold it, and be better at not having it in my hand. But yet at the same time, I still
every song.
Exactly. Or skipping it with my freaking car instead of holding the phone and skipping it, like the car has buttons. There's no reason to freaking skip it on the phone. But I'm still like holding it. I could get a ticket just for doing that, just for having it in my hand. So I wouldn't do it anymore, but I noticed that there were a lot of times where I was really tired, especially when I lived in Hayward, that I had to like do that freaking long drive. And I would just space out. I was so not present and kind of like sleeping without sleeping, like working on autopilot, and then my mind was like taking a nap. And I would have a lot of situations where I would either like tap someone else or like be about to hit someone, and I had to really like be more mindful and stop being so exhausted when I was driving, because those things
it takes a toll.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So mistakes like that definitely happen. Oh my gosh.
On that note, folks, don't text and drive. Don't be on your phone and drive.
Please
put it down.
Don't.
It's not worth it.
It's really not. It's crazy how much you see that here. In California, I never really saw that a lot, but here everyone drives.
Happens a lot.
Really? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's a really bad thing. I mean, now more than ever with all this like technology, it really happens a lot. So yeah, definitely don't text and drive. Don't hold your phone while you're driving. And don't drive while sleepy either. That's like horrible.
Exactly. Okay, your turn.
Giving a lecture now. Okay.
Well, things happen for you to learn, right? So it's like, of course, a lecture is going to follow something like that. If I know I made a mistake, something that I shouldn't have been doing, I have to learn from that, right? Yes. And thankfully, I didn't hit like a person or an animal,
Thank God.
like it was just a pile of dirt, thankfully, but you had to learn from that.
For sure. And thankfully not the hardest way. You learned in a hard way because of the embarrassing moment, but not because you hurt anything or yourself because you got hurt. I actually have a funny one. I think I shared this with you, but I don't remember if I did. But I was in school with one of my really close friends. She's one of my best friends. She's I think we had a class together. We also worked together at a certain time, so I'm not sure if this was like after work or after class, but we were walking together and looking for my car in the parking lot, right? So, I remember what it was. I was taking her to get registered in college. Okay. She's younger than me, so she hadn't yet registered and like given her paperwork or something like that. So I went with her that day because I had already done it. I'm pretty sure. And then so we're walking in the parking lot looking for my car. Oh my gosh, this was so freaking crazy. And I wonder till this day if anybody saw it. But we find my car and we open the door and we sit inside and we close the door. And I go to put the key in the ignition. And Gabby, my friend, goes, Ashley, this is in your car. And we're like, oh shit. So we ran out the car. We funny because we're running and we're scared because we don't want anybody to think that we stole this car. We're trying to steal it. We're running and we're like, where's my car? Where's my car? I can't find it. And we finally found my car. We opened the door. It was, of course, locked. So we unlocked the door, get in the car, and then drive away. We were like, oh my God, did anybody see that? It was
I love how you guys ran away like you were in trouble or something.
That was the embarrassing part of it, is that not only did we get in the wrong car, we panicked. We were like, we're in the wrong car. It felt like, excuse me, I think because of the fact that like we understood that other people could be looking and not understanding what was happening, we were like, shit, we could get in trouble because we're like in the wrong car right now. You know, we're sitting in it. It's not like we opened the doors and like looked around. We just quickly opened the door. I unlocked it with my key.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, for sure, this is my car.
That's so crazy.
At the car that I had that time, it was a Camry, like a 1996 or something like that Camry. And it had the same color, of course, the same color paint, which was tan. And then it had the same, like, I don't remember if it was a spot. Something was exactly the same, which made it even more like confirm that this is my car. But it wasn't until we were inside with the doors closed that we realized that it wasn't my car. So we got scared because we were like, people are going to think that we're stealing this car. We're not stealing this car. Just let's run and act like this didn't just happen. It was so funny.
I had something similar. Well, it's not really similar, but it's the same kind of like when you're not mindful, right? Mm-hmm. So you're not present, you're distracted by something. I don't know. I don't remember where it happened. It might've been at an airport. I just remember I was like looking down on my phone and I had to use the bathroom and I walked in the wrong direction. And when I finally looked up, all I saw were men at urinals. And I was like, whoa, oops. And I looked, put my head back down and walked. And then I'm like, ever since, anytime I use an airport, it was an airport, airport bathroom now, I like make sure I'm looking at the figure with the triangle dress. And making sure I'm going like in the proper direction of it.
That's so freaking funny. Oh my God. It's funny because that happened. You don't remember the Forever 21 shoot that I did? Right? So I go to this thing and there's a lot of people and it's in a school. Like where we filmed it was at a high school, right? And so we're getting ready. We're getting our makeup and hair done in the cafeteria of the school. And so we're using the bathrooms that are in the cafeteria of the school, right? So they told us like the bathrooms are over there, whatever. If you need anything, the food's over here. And so there was a point in time where I had already gotten my makeup done. And I think I was waiting to get my hair done. And I had to use the bathroom. So I go. I had already been to the women's bathroom, by the way, okay? I go. And then I make a left. And I had, for some reason, remembered it being there in the corner. So I walked in. And then, like a freaking dork, instead of just walking in and then realizing it was the men's room and then walking out, there's a guy washing his hands. And I pause inside the bathroom. I pause and I freeze. And then I look at him and I'm like, oh, hey, this is the men's bathroom, right? And then he goes, yep. And I was like, great. So then I leave and I run to the girls' bathroom like freaking out in my brain. Like, what did I just do? And why did I act like that? Like such a weirdo. And then one of the girls that's there, she comes up to me and she's like, hey, I just saw that you walked into the men's room. And she's like, and I was going to stop you, but, you know, you never know either at the same time. So maybe you wanted to go there. And I was like, no, I didn't want to go there. I just walked there by mistake. It was so bad. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Man.
This is why I like that. Okay, one, talking about embarrassing moments, right?
Yes.
You mentioned it earlier with the whole, like, take your power back and own it. But what that allows is it also allows you the power to laugh at yourself like we're doing right now. Like, and laughter is medicine. So it lightens you up. If you can't laugh at yourself, like, there's something wrong with you.
Right.
We have to be
Definitely.
able to laugh at ourselves
Yeah.
in order to get through life, you know?
Yeah, because I think sometimes we're the opposite. Sometimes we can be
Yeah.
so critical of
Mm-hmm.
ourselves and of the mistakes that we make. But it's like in those mistakes, not only are they hilarious sometimes, like you look back and you're like, what the heck was I like why did I do that, you know?
Yeah,
You laugh and you really get
exactly.
to reflect on like how joyful and silly you are, you know,
Yeah,
because we all have that. We all have that
exactly.
like silly bone that comes out in the worst moments sometimes. And it's something to really reflect on and laugh at
Yeah,
and just embrace because it's part of you. And
yeah,
that's so much better than being hypercritical and being aggressive with yourself about like moments where you make
exactly.
mistakes. You're human and you're gonna make
Exactly.
silly mistakes and not silly mistakes, and that's just part of life.
Yep,
Oh,
yep, yep. Do you
oh
have
my
any
god.
others that come to mind?
So I have a lot. I'm definitely one of those people that just does crazy shit. Like I've had so many embarrassing moments, so I'm not gonna share them all. But one of the freaking, to this day I don't know what happened. One of the funniest ones, and that like other people, my best friends at the time, which I'm still best friends with one of them, but my best friends at the time were there and they witnessed the whole thing from a perspective that like I couldn't witness because I was the one that it was happening to.
Yeah.
This freaking embarrassing moment was like so bizarre. I don't know why this happened. I don't know what happened in that moment that led to this happening. But we had just come from like the beach or something, and we were in high school. And my mom was there. We were getting out of the car, and we
Uh-huh.
had like a garbage bag to throw away. So my mom was there, and then my two best friends. And so I walked to the garbage to throw this away. And I don't know what, I literally can't even tell you what happened. I don't know what happened. But I go to throw it away. And I don't know how in the fucking world I fought into the garbage can. I literally, so I think that I
I
put,
literally just imagined you like with your legs in the air.
no, so this is, it was kind of like that. So I think I put too much body weight like on one side of the trash can, the big
Uh-huh.
green one too, like the big ones. I put too much body weight because I guess maybe the bag was heavy. I don't know what happened. I don't, to this day, I can't tell you what happened, but I put it inside and I guess I put too much body weight. So I fell and then it fell. So then it fell on
Oh
the
my
floor
god. Oh my
with
god.
myself inside.
Oh
My
my
the only
god.
thing that was outside of the garbage can, Ronnie, were my feet.
Oh my god.
So like imagine these are my feet over here, and then the garbage. I'm inside the garbage can, and my friends are like, ah! They were cracking.
Oh my
They were
god.
cracking up, and I remember being in there like, how the. I was like, how in the freaking world did I get in here?
No.
Yeah, and then I
How
couldn't.
old were you when this happened?
I was literally like 16, 15, 16
Oh,
years old, or 14, like around that age.
oh my god.
And I remember, excuse me, I remember being like, I can't even, I'm not gonna get out. I'm just gonna lay here. I'm just gonna lay here and
Oh.
process what just happened. Yeah, it was super weird. Crazy. That was one of the most embarrassing
Oh my
moments ever.
gosh. Yeah, I don't think I've had anything like that.
No, it's me. Literally, this stuff just really happens to me for laughter, I think. Like,
I
just to
have
bring joy.
you know my friend Leah,
Yes.
her sister and her
Okay.
nephew
Mm-hmm.
to this day call me Barfy.
What?
So
Oh no.
the year Leah got married, she eloped. She basically eloped. It was like a
Okay.
really fast wedding. So we drive
Mm-hmm.
up to Tahoe, and after the wedding, me and her best friend were the only single ones.
Okay.
So we spent the rest of the night out at the casinos drinking because there was other people from like Sacramento downtown, like nightlife, like up there that she knew because she worked that industry.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're playing blackjack, drinking Washington apples, like
Oh my
shots,
god.
like just all this fun, right? And then the next thing we knew, the sun was coming up and we had to leave. We had to check out of the hotel and
Oh my
leave.
gosh. Mhm.
And so before we got in the car, we grabbed some donuts to put some food in our bodies.
Mhm.
And then we pile up in her sister's car. It's me, her sister, Leah's sister, and her nephew. And I'm in the back seat. And the worst thing I can do if I've drank that much is sleep. And
Oh,
I
man.
fell asleep on the pillow. And the next thing I know, I'm like, pull over, pull over. And
Oh, no.
I try to get the window down, but you know, this was God, they got married in 2007, I think.
Oh.
And she had just gotten a brand new car. So this is a brand new car. And the window in the back only goes to like halfway. Like it doesn't go all the way down.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't get my whole mouth over.
No.
So half was inside and half made it like on the outside of the car.
Shoot.
Thankfully, I had won money at the casino. So when we got back to Sacramento, I gave her like a couple $100 and I was like, get your car detailed on me.
Oh, man.
But to this day, they will say Barfy.
Damn.
Hey, Barfy.
Damn, that's messed up. Oh my God. But I'm sure there's so many people that can relate. Things like this happen. Like, you know, they freaking, unfortunately, they happen. Oh, man.
Yeah.
You see the levels to it, though? I love how we kind of started off with, like, very minor, mild, embarrassing moments to, like, and then this happened. I love it.
Everyone goes through something. We all have our moments.
For sure. And I love, one of my favorite things, like, with friends is talking about those moments. Like, I think it's really fun to just, like, hear how we're sharing some things that we didn't know about each other.
Yeah.
It's fun because then you get to just show a different side of you. Like, a side of you that's not this, like,
serious.
Not even perfect. This serious and, like, oh, I don't make mistakes and I don't fuck up. Like, no, I do. Silly mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, because I had never heard your trash can story.
I thought I told you.
No.
Speaking of embarrassing moments. Oh my God, how funny. It shocked me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I have moments like that at the studio, like with clients all the time.
It literally happens. It happens more often than not. Like,
yeah. And I feel like sometimes it happens just because laughter is needed in that moment, right? And it's like something needs to happen to lighten up the mood. Smack myself in the face. Okay.
Exactly. Oh my God. Definitely.
If I had $1 for every time I did that, hit myself in the face.
Oh my gosh. Or I have dropped my phone on my face and like nobody's watching and I'm like, oh.
That's the worst. That is the worst. It does. It really does.
And then
that's why these are great. The little
yes.
It prevents that from happening. But even with that, it's happened.
For sure.
Somehow, some way.
For sure. It's a magnet. It just wants to be on top of your face. Oh my God. Oh man.
All right. So should we move on to pet peeves?
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay.
Do you want to go first?
I'll go first. The things that I'll still keep you around, but I'll probably shower first. And I'll explain why.
Oh God. Okay.
I
freaking. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I've had to share bathrooms. Obviously, growing up, I had to share with my brother, and
of course,
I've had situations where I've had to share a bathroom with roommates. And one of my biggest pet peeves is the wet bath mat. So like when people step out of the shower and they're soaked and they just step and let the bath mat, and then I go to shower and maybe I haven't taken my socks off yet and I step in it and and wet socks is the next pet peeve. So that's 2 in 1. And I'm like, okay, from here on out, I'm showering first. And I think to myself, why don't people wipe their feet before they get out of the shower?
It's like, you know, it's funny because maybe some people don't have that pet peeve.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't feel that. So I
cringe. I cringe. Like even talking about it right now, I'm like, ah!
I can feel that. I can feel that 100%. Oh my God. I'm sure there's so many people that relate to that too, because
Oh yeah.
everybody is so unique and has their own pet
Uh-huh.
peeves based on what it is that like they like and don't like. So
Yeah.
you either have people that are like, I don't care about that at all. Like that's not a
Exactly.
pet peeve.
That's what it's for. That's what I've heard. That's what the bath mat's for.
Exactly. And then you have people that are like, I hate that too.
Yeah.
Like that's so annoying. Oh my God, that's so funny. I love that. I love that you
Yeah.
shared that. And
So if
I
if
think
I were to marry someone that did that, I would make sure I would shower before that. Because
definitely.
clearly I love them and I want to keep them around.
Exactly. Well, that's really important because I think just like embarrassing moments have levels to them.
Yeah.
So do pet peeves. Like I think
Yeah.
there are pet peeves that you can kind of like just work around and maneuver
Yeah.
through, and then maybe there are pet peeves that aren't really pet peeves anymore. They're like strong dislikes that you cannot
Yeah.
be okay with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's important to know yourself enough to know what kind of annoys you, but also
Yeah.
what is like insoportable or like not something that you
Yeah.
can handle.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What
I
about
love it.
you?
Um, so let me think of one. I don't have many pet peeves, but of course, you know my thing with like sand. You know, like I don't know what it is.
The face you just made says it all.
Did I make a face? And
You
unconsciously, like this
yeah,
is a
you'll have to
genuine.
rewatch it. You did.
I can't wait because I've never met anyone that's like that. So I don't know if it's just me. I have not met anyone. So if there's anyone out there that has this pet peeve too, please let me know so that I know I'm not by myself here. But I cannot take like the feeling of dry sand on my feet. Like I just can't have it. Like it, especially if it's long term. Like if I'm walking on the beach on the sand, I love that. I'm fine with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But the second that I have to take my feet off of that sand, and it's not like immersed in that sand, but now it's covered in sand, and then I have to like put my shoes on. Oh my God. And then I have to walk. I cannot do it. I cannot freaking handle that. It's so strange. It's so bizarre. And then at the same time though, if I'm like that's why I have an issue sometimes with being barefoot, even like in my
Mm.
own space or in someone else's space, because the things that collect from the floor, if it's like dirt or dust, I can't have the feeling. I just don't like anything on my feet. I can't. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know.
See, for you, it's almost like it's that dry stuff, right?
Oh,
Like, and
yes.
I'm like the opposite. It's the wet, like
The wet.
that. I mean, that's part of the reason I love wearing slides because if it rains, my feet, if there's no socks on,
So
it's
true.
fine. My feet can get
Yeah.
wet perfectly fine. But like, if they're in a shoe with a sock and like I step in a puddle and that wet, just the wet sock, like, no, like
no.
the wet, I can't do the wet socks. Like,
That's so funny.
I cannot. Just like you with the sand, like I cringe with the idea of like a wet sock on my foot.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's so true, because if I had to pick between a dry foot and a wet foot with a wet sock, I would take the wet sock. I cannot take
Oh
the dry,
no, see,
like,
I would take the sand. I would take the sand all day over the wet sock.
no way. Definitely not me. Oh my God.
Oh, the worst
so
is
funny.
like in the kitchen, I'm wearing socks in the wintertime, but there's like maybe someone dropped a few drops of water or something, and then you
yeah.
step in it. You know, like when not all the dishes have like, if the water settles and then you pick it up and it spills, and then you put,
Yeah.
and then I step in that and it's just,
I agree with that though. I definitely, like, I just kind of imagine that feeling and have done that before, and I'll instantly take those socks off. So I do kind of get what you mean, because I definitely wouldn't keep them on. Like, I'd be like, because it's uncomfortable, right? But it's definitely not as strong of a pet peeve for me as like sand. Sand is just, it makes my skin crawl. Like I get literal chills. It's so weird. Like since I was a baby, my mom would say that she had to wash my feet my hands because I could not have the dry
Oh, that's
sound on
funny.
me. And I've tried so much to unlearn it, and
I
it's just
know.
there.
I've
It's just
seen
me.
you try, but the faces you make are hilarious.
I have to really breathe through it, and like,
You do.
oh, you've witnessed it.
Yes, I witnessed it firsthand. So yes, I
No,
know. Oh my
that's
gosh.
so funny. Okay, do you have
What's
another one?
one of my other ones is when people squeeze the toothpaste from the center
Oh,
instead of the end and
God,
roll it from the end. I'm
I
like,
agree.
why? Like you get all of it when you push it from the end. It's neater
Oh my God,
and
I
cleaner.
I agree. I don't get why people do that.
No.
I've even seen things that say that there are certain people that do that because they're a certain type of person, and then you have other people that don't. Have you ever seen that? I've seen
Yes,
something like
yes.
that.
Like
That is annoying.
what I'm not even gonna try because you know me, I screw up quotes all the time. But it's the memes of like, she's psycho if she squeezes from the end of the tube or something like that,
What?
like
The
things like that.
opposite.
Yeah.
The opposite. She's cool. She's like a cool ass person if she does that. You want to live with
That's
her?
how I rephrase it in my head.
Same. What? A psycho? No, you baby. Oh my God, that's so funny. Weird.
What about you? I can't think of anything else right now.
Um. Oh, let me see. Okay, so this is a pet peeve of mine, but it's only something that I deal with one specific person because I currently live with them. And my brother, Emmy, literally hates. This has been since we were children. Okay, like I specifically have tons of memories of him saying, "I hate washing utensils. Ew." And till this day, he does not wash his utensils because he doesn't like washing them. So he will wash everything. Like he'll cook, right? And I swear, like he cooks and he washes everything, all the plates, all the pots, and then you go to the sink and there's a whole bunch of utensils. He will not. He will
Oh
not
my
wash them.
god.
It's so fun. It's
Oh
so
my
funny, but
god.
it's so like
That's
silly.
so
It's like,
random too.
yeah. I'm like, why? And then I think of like, because obviously that's his pet peeve is washing them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why? Why? It's like it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I don't get it. It's
Oh
so
my
strange.
god.
And
It's
I
like you
can't
have to
stand it.
find someone, like if you're like when you're dating someone or when you're ready to like move in with someone, it's like you have to find the person who's you guys have opposite pet peeves so that like
Yes.
things still get done around the house, right? Like so it's like if someone doesn't like doing the utensils but likes doing the dishes and you can do the opposite, then it's magic, right?
I guess. I guess for me it's not magic because I'm like I have no problem watching the utensils, but I don't want to watch yours. Watch your utensils. I cannot date somebody that can't watch their utensils. I'm like, no, we're gonna watch them. We better both like watching them. Oh my god! But I get
We
what you
better
mean.
both like using the dishwasher.
At least, bro. At least put them in the dish. Literally. Oh my gosh,
Oh my
man.
goodness.
But
Oh,
I
that's funny.
agree. I think it's so important, right? Like even talking about these things, I think
Yeah.
hopefully that it inspires other people to have these types of conversations
Yeah.
to with their friends and with who they're dating or who they live
Yeah.
with or their family
Yeah.
members. Because then you get to really get to know people on a different level. Because if their pet peeves are something that maybe you do, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe we wouldn't necessarily be able to live together. Or maybe we would, but we would have to kind of compensate for that and kind of work
Exactly.
around that
Exactly.
because everybody is so different and there are going to be things that you don't have in common.
Yeah. And I think the importance of also discussing the pet peeves is that the partner gets to learn what they are. So like if they want to
Yeah.
work on not doing it, they can,
Yes.
but at the same time, they also understand that they'll learn what bothers their partner or doesn't,
For sure.
and vice versa.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then you get to grow together, which I think is important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Can you think of any other ones?
Pet peeves. Um, I guess the only thing that's popping in my head right now is like if I'm in like a learning environment
Okay.
and like when people I mean, I understand the importance of like questions, right? Because
Yeah.
people need to learn. That's how you learn. But sometimes like when the professor's in that train of thought and like wanting to get it all out and then someone's constantly raising their hand, like diverting them from their
For
thing,
sure.
that as a student of life, because I've been in school like forever, I feel like that's definitely been a pet peeve growing up. It's like,
Cool.
can you let the teacher just say what they need to say? And then maybe the answer might be there.
Can you let him speak, maybe?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh my god. I could totally see why that would be a pet peeve. Because you're like, maybe if you would have listened, he would have already answered that question.
Yeah. He
I
was
could
getting
see that.
there. The build up, the anticipation. Right?
For sure, for sure. Oh my god. You know, that actually reminded me of a pet peeve that I have, and that's when like people cut others off, which is
Mm,
like essentially similar, not necessarily to ask a
yeah.
question, but like when someone is communicating, I don't communicate perfectly. Obviously, I could be better, and everyone can improve their form
Uh-huh.
of communication,
Hmm.
but there are people that like have this unconscious like desire to cut people off when they're in the middle of a conversation,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what are you doing? Like
I
they
would
haven't
have
even
to
shared,
concur on this one. I concur
right?
with that one because I've experienced that where it's like I'm saying something, but I'm not trying to diminish you or say anything to you. But then they come back, like they cut you off, and it's like almost like they feel attacked. But I'm like, I wasn't even talking about you. You
For
know what I mean?
sure.
Like I was.
Yeah,
This was a general statement.
exactly. Because it comes from a place of them wanting to be heard, but
Yeah,
through doing that they're not hearing you. So it's like,
exactly.
I'm a strong believer in like, if I want to hear, if I want to be heard, I have to hear more, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I can't just like, hear me, hear me, hear me. I have to listen to you and fully in order for then me to hopefully be heard, even though I'm
Hmm.
not in control of like other people and how they receive or hear me. But I
Hmm.
think it's really important, like if you really want to be heard, just like let someone talk and then like complete their phrase or whatever it is they're saying, whether it's
Exactly.
in an argument or even in just like a casual conversation. I know so many people that like someone is talking and they're usually like the timid one that's like, yeah, you know, yesterday I went to this thing, and another friend that's like usually not the timid one is like, well, anyway, and I'm like, let them talk. Like they're in the
Yeah.
middle of a conversation. Oh my gosh.
I definitely
Oh,
concur with that one.
yes. Oh my
Right word.
goodness.
Yeah, I concur.
Concur? Yeah, totally. How funny. It's definitely a word. I concur. There was a commercial that said that, I think. And my family for a long time would say that in conversation. Like, do you concur? I concur. And I would be like, what does that mean? I was very young when this happened.
Oh.
Excuse me. Yeah.
What else? What's a pet peeve? Do you have any driving pet peeves?
Okay, you know what? Oh my god. I'm just being flooded with them.
Yes,
Did you see
that's
my
a
face?
yes. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even think about that, and now they're all coming to me. So obviously, I grew up here in Miami, and I think one of the things that really ruined me in a good way was living in California, because then I realized like what it feels like to drive in a peaceful environment. And a lot of people in California would say peaceful. No
Yeah, I'm
way.
like, what?
But it's because they haven't lived here. They don't drive here, right?
Yeah.
And there's like levels again to like good driving and peaceful driving. Like maybe a place like an island that's super chill will be like
Mm,
very, very safe,
yeah.
kind of slow
Yeah.
driving and respectful driving. But
Yeah.
then when you put New York and California and you're there and you kind of experience that, at least, I mean, not California, Miami, like here, and then you
Uh-huh.
experience a lower level of that, which to me is the Bay Area. I can't speak for other places because I haven't lived like in
Yeah.
San Francisco necessarily, or like in LA. I haven't really lived there, but even San Diego was like pretty chill.
Yeah.
And coming back here after living over there has been a trip for real. Like, I am always freaking fresh. I really have to like breathe before going out to drive so that
Uh-huh.
I don't lose it, because these people literally drive. It's funny because my grandmother sent me a meme that said, you know you're from Miami. No, if you're from Miami and you don't let me merge, like this, no, it says something like, here in Miami, we are you're either gonna let me merge or we're gonna crash. Right? Yeah. And I was like, this is so sad. Like, this is sad that it's funny, but it's the truth. They will literally here, they would rather crash into you than like wait for you to like to wait for someone else to let them in. They'd rather hit somebody and like win in that way
Oh my
than
God.
actually wait for a safe scenario for them to enter in. It's so toxic. Like the driving here is insane. They don't use their signals.
Toxic relationship.
It really is. It really is. Pet
Oh my
peeves
God.
is everything. Everything that they do here is everything. I can't
Oh
help
my
with any
God.
of it.
Oh
What
my
about
God.
you?
I think one that comes to mind is like, I know after there was a certain TV show, right? So after this TV show with motorcycles, like people have been it's courtesy to kind of, if you're in the left lane, to kind of veer off a little bit to let a motorcycle go through.
Yeah.
And usually they'll do the peace sign as like a thanks
Yeah,
when they drive by.
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
I think a pet peeve of mine is when they don't do that. When I make the effort to get out of the lane for you to go by and they don't do the thank you
You're
signal.
so funny.
It's like, hey, I did that for you. I didn't get
You're like, you're welcome.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh my God. That's hilarious. I was not expecting that. That was a great pet peeve. Like, excuse me, I just let you in. You're welcome,
I
sir.
was doing something nice for you.
Oh
I don't get that expression of gratitude.
Where's my peace sign?
Right?
Where's my peace sign? That is so funny. Oh my God. That's hilarious. Yeah, man. I get that though.
Signals are definitely a pet peeve.
Signals,
Like, it's there,
especially
people use it.
yeah, and I think too, because I've expressed my frustration with Miami driving on like my stories because it's a lot.
When
and
you
it's been
first moved
hard.
back, I remember reading your tweets.
Man, it
And
was
your
really
stories,
bad.
hilarious.
I was so angry. Like I noticed myself being really angry, and it was because of the driving. It wasn't because of anything else. And it's just because it's really dangerous because if you put your signals on, they won't let you in. So if you do the right thing by putting your signals on, no one's gonna let you pass. They're gonna speed up and they like kind of all team up to make sure that you don't get in the lane.
Oh my
So
God.
because of that, a lot of people don't use their signals and then they just go in front of you and you're like, dude, what the hell? Like,
Yeah.
so in every direction, it's just really dangerous. Or they put the wrong signal. You know how many times they have put the right signal and then they go in front of me? And I'm like, I'm on the left.
I don't understand that one at all.
It's
or
crazy.
Like when people forget that their signal is on. Because it's like,
gosh.
I'm slowing down. Like, are you going to get in? Are you going to cut in front? Like, I'm letting you go. Come on. And then I speed up. And then I'll look in the rear view sometimes. And then they get in the lane after I speed up past them. And it's like,
exactly.
What just happened? So it's
exactly.
Like, it's a pro and a con, right? Use your signals. But then it's like, when it's not being used appropriately. Like, what the
use them properly. Oh my gosh. It's really freaking frustrated frustrated. It's really frustrating.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I think what's even more frustrating is that you can't really communicate to these. It's not like you can tell them like, hey dude, what's up? Like, use your signal, You have to just
it's just you in the car. Yeah, exactly. Frustrated at yourself for getting frustrated.
Exactly. Oh my God, I can't stand that, man.
You know, one that came to mind right now too is at like the grocery store or like Target or something, when people don't return the cart to the designated cart area.
God,
that's a pet peeve of mine.
I cannot.
I always try to make sure I take it to a place where it's not going to hit another car or like the designated area or back to the entrance. But like, that's one of them. Because I've pulled into spots so many times and there's like 3 freaking congregated shopping carts. And I'm like,
I hate that. I agree 100%. That is so annoying. I don't know why people do that. Like,
It's
I
lazy.
think it all comes down to thoughtfulness. Yeah, exactly. It really is lazy.
Yeah.
It is. You can be. You froze. Oh no.
I did. You're not frozen. Keep
Oh, okay,
talking.
good. You can hear me good?
Yeah.
You sound like a robot, man.
Oh no. Well, I mean, we're close to the end
Okay, you're
here.
good now.
Okay.
Perfect. You're good. Oh my gosh. But you're so right. It really is laziness. And I think a lot of the pet peeves that bother me, other than like silly pet peeves that people don't do like on
Yeah.
purpose necessarily, are the things that people do that are unconscious or unthoughtful or like
Yeah.
lazy or that
Yeah.
can hurt other people. And
Hmm.
they're just using the excuses like whatever. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
selfish thing,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
if I put a cart in a parking spot, like someone else is going to drive up to there and they're going to have to
Yeah.
remove it, or it's going to make someone's
Exactly.
job or day more challenging than it needs to be, right? So
Exactly.
the same thing with driving. Like a lot of my pet peeves, and I think a lot of people's pet peeves come from a place of like a lack of thoughtfulness
Yeah.
and like a lack of understanding what might impact other people, like.
Can you imagine the chain reaction of like if people like put these things in their designated areas, or actually like the chain reaction of the good that would continue to follow, like
Exactly.
it would be
Yeah.
awesome.
You're so right. And when I'm driving, especially, I always, even though I get really frustrated with other people, I never let that take away from me doing what's
Yeah,
best for those that come across me, with hopes
exactly.
that maybe it will help them do that for somebody else. There have been
Exactly.
so many times where I'm like letting someone in and they don't trust that it's actually the case because they're so
Yeah,
used to people not letting them in that they're like,
exactly.
really, like I can go in and you're not gonna
Yeah,
kill me, like are
yeah.
you sure this is safe? So it's like by doing that, hopefully someone else will do it. It really
Exactly.
is important. It's cool how just with these topics that are like silly and playful, we still have such deep lessons and
Yeah.
messages. And I think it's important for people to like make it a point to pass forward things that will make someone
Exactly.
else's day easier. Do the freaking
Exactly.
work. Like, don't be
Exactly.
lazy. Just put the carts away
Especially if
and
it's
use your
like just
signals.
30 seconds of your life. Like 30
Exactly.
seconds. That's it. Maybe not even
Oh
that,
my God.
you know?
Oh, exactly.
But I think you ended
Oh,
it on a great point. Is just finding also the deeper
definitely.
lesson in these smaller things. Like
Yes.
that's
Oh,
that's where the power is.
yes, exactly. They happen to everybody, and it's part of what makes
Yeah.
life funnier
Yeah.
and and more exciting. I love it.
Yes. All right. We love you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and
Love
we
you.
will see you next week.
We can't wait. Oh, wrong. I keep doing the wrong hand.
Oh, I think I got it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. All right. Have
I
a great
love
Monday,
it.
folks.
Bye.